Hi all. Lightbrite back. Chapter 16. I'm sure every single one of us has probably taken this route, but I'm not sure. I'll hold up this letter, see if you can see who it's to. The Ombudsman. See that? The Ombudsman. They can't do anything. Let's see what it said to us. I wrote to the Ombudsman on October 10th. After just about all my appeals were finished for my husband to be accepted for a traumatic brain injury and the problems he was having. As you know, from 2003, I've been fighting for the so exceptional clause. I've had baby steps the whole way. Now we're 6 years into it, so this is what he's saying. The Ombudsman, I wrote and was concerned that they weren't applying policy correctly, as so many of us realize. And all that the Ombudsman would tell me is, for your information, the questions we normally ask in assessing the fairness of a decision includes the following. Did the decision maker have the authority to make the decision? That's the part where you read in your little letters stuff like I'm doing the review, and there in this review we have the authority of blah 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 to conduct the review. That's what that means. And then they say, did the officials exercise appropriate discretion in reaching a particular decision? Did the person affected by the decision have the opportunity to be heard and to present relevant information related to the decision? Was the person given reasons for the decision? Did the person have the opportunity to have an unfavorable decision reviewed by someone who was not involved in making the decision? Could a reasonable person have reached a similar decision based on the information available to the decision maker? That's what he wrote me. See, because they can't actually overturn a verdict. All they can go after WCB is if they fail to apply proper policy and procedure, as they always say. In my chapter 14 maybe, where I was talking about how they had us see a lady in Creston was an occupational therapist, and then they had us go to a Donna Stevens in Banff. Well, I was reading my file, and what I found on my file was this. They had sent a request in, requesting for referral to the Psychological Disability Awards Committee Board to the PDAC to see if they could see if all the evidence was in and what was going on, see if it was all legal. Anyways, I go down to the fourth paragraph in it, and it says, just prior to the PDAC review, an impairment rating in November 2007, Mr. Larwell was referred for community-based therapeutic counseling, and these sessions were conducted by a clinical psychologist, Dr. Donna Stevens, PhD, whose reports are dated as follows. September 17th, initial visit. October 30th, November 27th, December 30th, January 30th, February 6th, March 14th, June 27th. I saw Donna Stevens twice, and they were both in January or February. It was winter. That's all. That, on our file, is blatant thieving. That is wrong. And these will be checked. They will be printed off, and there will be something that's going to be happening about that. That's for sure. Because if Donna Stevens actually put those invoices in to WCB on our behalf, I didn't see her in September, I didn't see her in October, I didn't see her in November, and I did not see her in December. January, February, March. They probably put it all under Donna Stevens' name. I can't see them making such a blatant thievery in front of my eyes. That's unbelievable. Well, I guess that's how they do things, I guess. I don't know. I know what I gotta do. The referral was accepted by case manager, and Yahaidi's reports are dated May 24th, 08, June 20th, 08. Dr. Stephen commented in her March 4th, Dr. Stephen recommended in her March 14th report that Mr. Larwell's should be considered for referral to an intensive residential treatment program at a head injury program. Board psychologist Dr. N. Friedberg supported the referral as having considerable merit in his log of March 20th, 08. Well, that was fine with me, because now we were going to get at least, actually now I was going to get the help I wanted for Jamie, which Colin had denied me, or, you know, tried to sweep it under the rug as quick as he could. And then the other review lady wanted to know why in the hell I didn't use workers' advisors, and why there was so many mistakes in my file, and why was it this long into it now and still open? Because they made all these mistakes, and I didn't use a worker advisor at all. So the HADIS reports are dated May 24th, 08, which was the initial assessment. And then from that initial assessment came the recommended treatment for my husband. Remember now, though, anything after 2 years cannot be changed. So they decided to send us for another 2, 4, 6, and they decided another 8 weeks. That's 2 months last summer. So June 20th, 2008, secondary assessment. You see, when we were going to these assessments, they told me, because they had given us an award in 07, was 40% disabled, my husband, which was, he was more than that. So obviously I took it back to appeal it again. And when I did go back and appeal it, they thought, okay, well, we now have this and this. We are going to send them for 8 weeks of intensive residential in-treatment program to see exactly what's going on with his head. Now, I'm sure that was done so that they could find out if my husband was in fact 40% disabled mentally or not. And they were banking that he wasn't that, given that he had done some upgrading and he had gone to that mechanics course and he had done this. But I tell you what, Jamie didn't get that just from non-working. He worked damn hard, and I set him up in a room in my mother's house in Calgary in the basement where he was fed and warm, and all he had to do was get up in the morning and go to college. When he got home, it was flashcards, flashcards, flashcards. When he came to see his family for 2 days a month, it was flashcards for the whole 2 days. There was not one interruption of study time at all, because if it got taken out of here, it was taken out. He would never get it back. This worked fine until you go out into the real world and get a job. Then stuff starts hitting the fan that's not working properly, and you can't hide it anymore. It had to come out. So when they put us down here in Richmond to the hiatus reportment dates, that was good for me. That was good. Because now Jamie also had people telling him that, honey, it's not your wife doing this. You really have an injury, and you do not remember things. He always told you see, my husband always argued and said, no, that's just you, that's just you. It's a very, very hard time, you guys. But I'm going to look into this, all those dates. I'm going to go and I'm going to print it off, and I'm going to make sure that I put this in a proper perspective. So Lightbrite out. Stay tuned for 17, I guess.